Hello, everybody. Welcome to Calls and the Friday Night Chill stream for January 13th. Hopefully, your lineups have been doing well. Looking forward to this evening's show. Got a lot of things to look at. And you see here, I have started with the Amex field. Since it is beyond 5 p.m. Eastern Time, then the field has been finalized for next week's event. So I thought we could start the show off this evening looking at next week's field, just get an idea who we might want to look at early on, or who you might want to look at with your research throughout this weekend. But happy Friday evening. Hopefully your week went well. If not, we're here for some relaxing music and to get into all the statistics and analysis that we can. You might have heard the second regular to the stream already, making her presence known. I'm sure she will be in and out of here periodically. So I have gotten all of my chat up and going, and give me one moment. I need to take care of something off camera, so I will be right back, and then we will get started. So I will be back momentarily. Okay, apologies for that. We have returned. Let me change view for you. There you go. All right. Sorry about that. We're back. Figured we would start with a look at the Amex field, since the second round of the Sony is still underway, and they might not finish this evening. And if they don't, I'll do the best I can with the statistics that won't be finalized or whatever in terms of stroke gain putting and all that. But with that said, you look at this field for the Amex, and it is stellar. It is a fantastic field that has initially signed up to peg it next week. Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm, Tony Finau, Will Zalatoris, Patrick Cantlay, Sungjae, Xander, Tom Kim. Which, by the way, how much Tom Kim did you all have this weekend? How much Sungjae did you all have this week? How much are these two hurting your lineups? Be curious to hear about that, so put that in chat. Cameron Young, Taylor Montgomery, who's at the moment tied for the lead at the Sony. Sam Burns, Cam Davis, just a spectacular field has decided to tee it up for the Amex. There's the second regular to the stream, making her presence known, as she is oft to do. Again, I don't want to spend too much time looking at the Amex. Of course, we'll do all of this next week, especially Sunday night with the initial research. But it's always good to get a feel for some of the players that are at least signed up to tee it up, and maybe have some initial thoughts coming into the week. So if we look at past course conditions at the MX, it is generally a short course, especially Sunday, the stadium course. In fact, last year all of them played to less than 7,200. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with some more short courses. The stadium course is generally average speed, but this is a 3-course rota. At least it normally is now. During the pandemic years, they tightened it to a 2-course rota, but normally a 3-course rota. So players are guaranteed 54 holes next week, and then any of those who make the cut move to Sunday, and that is played at the stadium course. But a 3-course rota, generally a fairly easy tournament in regards to final scoring. We'll be on Bermuda again, but we have some architect information that we can look at in the form of Jack Nicklaus and Pete Dye. But we'll mainly be looking at Pete Dye, since that is where the players who make the cut will be playing on Sunday. But there's a look at the historic conditions at the Amex. Again, just a fantastic field, really. Just a fantastic field set for next week's American Express. The only data set I guess we'll look at, this will be your top performers on short courses in all of 2022. So Cantlay, Harmon, Poston, Xander, Andrew Putnam, Keith Mitchell, Wyndham Clark, Ben Griffin, Patrick Rogers, Matthew Neesmith. So there's the top 10 in terms of strokes gained total when it was a short course in 2022. So there are some names to begin your research or begin your thought process throughout this weekend. Looking forward to the Amex. But we're going to close out of that, as we are here for everything Weekend Golf Sony Open. And of course the tournament is still going on, so can't gather the statistics perfectly yet, although we can get a decent gauge of some of the players who we know are going to make the cut, the Taylor Montgomerys, Chris Kirks. It looks like that this cut is going to be going to -3. That would be my guess. Right now it sits at -2, but tied for 58th is where -2 is. I would venture to guess, if I had to guess, that it will move to -3. It'll be close And boy, am I ever hoping that -2 is the cut, because I have been very high on Grayson Sigg. I've got him in a whole lot of lineups this weekend. So if he makes the cut, I'm going to be looking rather strong. You see, Jordan Spieth has really struggled. He had 4 bogeys in a row earlier in his round. Let's see, others that are hovering here: Aaron Ryan, Taylor Ryan Palmer, who has been perfect at making the cut here at the Sony the past 5 years. 4 for 4 the past 5 years. Kuchar looks like he has a one-shot leeway, maybe. Tom Hoge has a one-shot leeway. These players we know are going to miss the cut down here. So what we can do, in fact, first I don't mind. Let me show you the lineups that I submitted throughout my contests for week long. You can see the players and the number of times that they were selected. I ended up the most with Nick Hardy. He was in 10 of 16. There are more lineups over here. I entered 10 lineups in one particular contest. But I have Nick Hardy 10 out of 16 times. I have Grayson Sigg 9. And unfortunately, even though I wasn't very high on him, the lineup generator that I used just kind of happened to have him in quite a few of these lineups. And he was the player that just so happened to be here on a few lineups, say like Mackenzie Hughes, who ended up missing the cut, but I wanted to have one lineup with Mackenzie Hughes. It just so happened that that was a Sungjae lineup. I had one lineup with Tom Kim and Sungjae. Made sure to put both of those in a lineup. That obviously didn't work out, but for whatever reason, it just came out that Sungjae was used 9 times. But KH Lee, who I was very high on this week, used him in half of my lineups. Brendan Todd, I used him in half of my lineups. So on and so forth. But if this cut does indeed stay at -2 and Grayson Sigg ends up making the cut, it is going to be, I'm going to be very, very excited, because Tom Kim, extremely popular. Sungjae was extremely popular. Jordan Spieth's pretty popular. So I'm really, if Grayson Sigg can make the cut. Now, I only have the chance for one 6 of 6, but I've got some stellar 5 of 6s. Stellar 5 of 6s. KH Lee, Denny McCarthy, Nick Hardy, SH Kim, who I was very high on as well, has a very good chance to make some noise. I've got a top 20 on SH Kim, so that would obviously hit at the moment. Wasn't exactly the biggest number, but I was very confident in it. So, all right. So there's a look at some of my lineups. I'm sure we'll update this throughout the evening. But what I've done here is I went ahead and grabbed as much as I could, considering that the tournament is still going on. I went ahead and grabbed the players' performance in calm weather and when it's windy. And the reason I've done that, let's look at Windfinder for this weekend. As you can see, today was pristine. The wind did change throughout the day, going from, again, just cardinal directions, southwest to straight north at one point, supposedly. Now tomorrow looks more of the same, pristine. High of 75, no wind gusts, no wind period. So that is a lot of the reason why I've grabbed calm weather, or their performance when the wind is calm, especially for round 3 showdown. You're going to want to look at that. If players are much better in the wind versus not and all of that. So I made sure to grab calm. But also, Sunday looks to be really windy. Gusts up in the upper teens. Pretty consistent in terms of wind direction. And of course, I don't know how the course lays out in terms of, if this is the wind direction, how does that affect hole 9, 18, 17, all that? I don't know, but it looks like a fairly consistent day of wind on Sunday, and that's why we've grabbed the windy as well. So I've done that. I've grabbed those, and I will absolutely keep the wind finder forecast up. You also see that I've got a few numbers over here. Not a whole lot we can do with that yet. The fact that the stats are still getting accumulated, essentially. But I've got some columns hidden over here. This is their base. So their base strokes gained approach, performance on average Bermuda, and performance on fast Bermuda. So I will be very interested in seeing the players at the top of the leaderboard. Do we see a very consistent, are they better at average green speeds? Are they better at fast green speeds? That'll give you a very good idea as to how the green speeds are playing. And all leading up to the tournament yesterday, I thought that these greens were going to be fast. They had dry weather. It was going to be fast and firm, I thought. So I am going to be very curious once we go over to Fantasy National and the in-tournament stats to see if indeed I am correct that the faster green putters have been faring better. And then, of course, we'll look at some scrambling too, because if a player is having to scramble, this course is easy. Although it's played a little more difficult yesterday and today, it's generally pretty easy. So if you're scrambling, you're not one-off, you're not doing all that well anyway. And if you've been successful at scrambling already, I'm a little worried because that means your iron play isn't there. I do have 2 names in particular highlighted in a shade of, say, gold. Ryan Armour and Aaron Baddeley. Those 2 eagled a par 4 and a par 3 Aaron Baddeley eagled a par 4 yesterday, and Ryan Armour aced the 17th yesterday. So that means their scores are going to be a little artificially high. You just can't depend on hole outs on par 3s and par 4s. So that is also something that we want to take a look at. And I know there have been more eagles today. Again, just kind of waiting for the round to end or until they suspend for darkness. But yeah, I'm going to take it easy for a little bit. Put it in chat. How are your lineups doing? What are some of the players and statistics that you're wanting to see tonight? Would be curious to hear from you all on that. How much did Tom Kim hurt you? How much did Sung Jae hurt you? All of that. And then, you think anybody off the pace, as they say, has a good shot at making some noise? Corey Connors, 5 shots off the lead right now. We can take a look at some odds boards a little bit later on as well, if we want. But what I am going to do is go through this leaderboard here and highlight and just remove. Well, no, I probably shouldn't do that just because these players will have stats as well in Fantasy National that I'll need to bring over. So why don't we go ahead and go to Fantasy National and look at these in-tournament stats a little bit. Looks like they are down at the moment. Haven't seen that. But one thing I will say about Fantasy National, they have a project going on right now that is very, very exciting. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. Look, there are a lot of great tools out there, a lot of great content. Fantasy National is, in my opinion, by far and away the best value for your money. It's going to get you everything that you need analytics-wise in terms of golf. I can't stress it enough. If you aren't a member at Fantasy National, I highly suggest you think about it. It is well worth the investment. There are still a lot of holes to play. Yeah, yes, there are, James. They might not get finished this evening. I believe this is the last group here. Dylan Wu, Carson Young, they have made the turn. But we will have a fair amount of players finished, especially from the weekend. From the PM session, that we'll be able to get a decent idea in terms of players who have over and underperformed and whatnot. But you're right, there are still a lot of holes to play, and that's just the way it goes for Showdown, and when I'm live, is what it is. But thanks for jumping in, chat. You generally don't play full week contests, but I imagine, like me, you're probably a little shocked that Tom Kim missed the cut, Sung Jae missed the cut. But be honest, I feel pretty good about what I've had so far. As I mentioned on Wednesday, I was really high on Taylor Montgomery. I didn't understand why he was as little projected owned as he was. Look, I was out on Spawn. What's wrong there? Hayden Buckley, David Lipsky, I mentioned these players. S.H. Kim, I was very, very high on. Ben Griffin, very high. Nick Hardy, very high. So far, things are looking pretty good. Things are looking pretty good. We're going to try to keep that momentum going in terms of weekend golf. But this might be a short and non-existent stream if Fantasy National doesn't come back up with the in-tournament stats. But such as it is, we'll do what we can. But how has the rest of your week been? Glad it is Friday evening. Any exciting plans other than to submit winning lineups for Showdown this weekend? But one thing, like I said, we can do a little bit, especially for round 3, because I don't do round 3, only. I am full on weekend golf. With the forecast for tomorrow to be exactly like today, just pristine, no wind, anything like that, we can look at some of the players that are generally pretty darn good when it's calm. So somebody like Aaron Rye, who is right on the cut line right now at -2. Somebody that might, depending on other stats as well, might be somebody to consider. Andrew Putnam, who I know was hovering around the cut line. Not sure where he is. Look at that. Grillo, +3. Woof. He's going to miss the cut unless he holes out from the fairway, and that is obviously not a guarantee. So that is one player I can come over to my lineups. Fortunately, I only had him once because I was scared of him being on the bad side of the draw. So Emiliano Grillo, I can put in red. Let's see. Billy Horschel is going to miss the cut He has had a terrible weekend, and as I mentioned, I was off on Billy this week, and he's been bad. He's been bad. I was wrong on Robbie Shelton. I will say that I was wrong on Robbie Shelton. So, but Billy Horschel is somebody that I can also highlight and knock off. But there's a look at my lineups and how they are faring. A lot of green, but only one lineup that has a chance of 6 of 6. It's a decent chance. Like I said, I'm hopeful that -2 stays the cut, but I doubt it's going to. I really think it'll move to -3. Cam Davis actually struggling a little bit today. There's Putnam sitting at -3, so he's got a little bit of wiggle room, but he probably doesn't want to give away another shot. Let's see, some other players specifically for round 3 that we can perhaps put our eyes on. Brendan Steele. He was doing fairly well, I thought. Look at Zach Johnson, the ageless one. Brendan Steele, I don't see him. He might have dropped off. There he is. Okay, so he's hovering right on it at +2 with 1 hole to go. He played well when it's calm. Brian Harman's been just good in general. Cam Davis, if he does in fact make the cut, I expect a pretty good weekend from Corey Connors, having had a low round today, shooting 66. I think it'll be a good weekend for Corey Connors. So be mindful of Connors. Lipsky. Now, if you're looking for total in terms of both the weekend or all of the weekend, I should say, Ben Griffin played really well. Of course, Billy Horschel's going to miss the cut. Brian Harman, if he does make the cut. Look at that, Brendan Steele right on the number, +2 so today, -2 total. So he's got to be a bit nervous, I would think. Cam Davis. Like I said, just kind of waiting. Hopefully, Fantasy National brings back or is able to get the in-tournament stats rolling again. Anything in particular, James, that you would like to look at? Like I said, I know a lot of these players have already, or we know that are going to miss the cut, but I am waiting as long as I can because I'm going to be grabbing these stats, and I would much like to have everything and then remove it, We can try and go through and see if... Actually, I'm just going to try to reload Fantasy National. If the... if I'm able to discern who has gotten eagles today on par 4s and par 3s. There we go. Yeah, that's what since I had went into the Amex, I needed to reload that. So we can take a look here at, well, I'll try. Who has been playing well and who has not. Sunny. I would really like to try and sort this, but it's not seemingly letting me. Harris English. Okay. You want to see Harris? Okay, let's do that. Let me narrow all this back in and reset my filters and stuff, since I had to reload Fantasy National. Is Twitch working, or is it just better for you on your for your computer on YouTube? All right, Harris English. All right, so coming in, around the green and putting was good. Better on YouTube for whatever reason. Okay. Hasn't been particularly strong with the irons. There's English. Yeah. Okay. Let me make sure I have this correct. So he is, what's this? 110th in terms of, unhide. Oh, stupid. It's over here. 110th. Harris English. 110th. Very good. See, he's much better when it's fast. And he's probably putt well. So my guess is, if we look for Harris English, what's he? Where's he at in the standard? -7. It's way down here. Harris English. All right, so doing Harris English things, although the irons have been there this week, but he's still putting at his usual kind of realm. Okay. No, as long as it's still going. So nothing out of line here, at least in terms of putting. Now the irons have been drastically better than they were in 2022, but again, he was hurt in 2022. So we'll look at tee to green. Harris, nowhere near on the distance, which you don't need. He is scrambling somewhat successfully. Makes you worry a little bit, and he's had to scramble more than a few times. Yeah, don't like that. Not in love with that. And then with birdies and pars and eagles, Harris. Okay. Birdies gained. Looks like he's just been playing fairly normally, and the irons are here this week. Okay. my gosh, is it going to let me sort now, finally? Look at that. We're off to the races. Okay. Let's see. Some of these players, and like I said, we can grab some of these if we want, but as I found out last week, it's just kind of difficult and it gets a little confusing until we wait and see where everyone ends up for the evening. But you know, if I just grab Harris English and copy him over English. So he has been better on fast, slightly, than what he normally is. No, I'm sorry, he's been a little worse than usual when it's fast. He is 15th here, and normally he'd be 11th when it's fast, but I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. The irons are what's doing it for him this week, as I mentioned. He's good in the wind, or good when it's calm, I should say. I don't know. Especially with a round 3 showdown. You might be onto something with Harris English, especially since he'll be up there on the leaderboard. So you'll have some of that placement, if you will. Yeah. You might be onto something there with Harris English. I kind of like that. Kind of like that. Let's see. Anything else drastic developing? So he must have parred his 15th. So he's moving to 7, 8, and 9. 9's an absolute birdie chance. It's the easiest hole on the course. I mean, he could be an eagle by that. Looks like he missed the green, though, on 7. Might be dropping a shot. Okay, let's see. Anything else drastic happening? Look at that. It's still hovering tied at T57, -2. Man, I will be surprised if it stays at -2, but there's a decent chance it does. There's absolutely a decent chance that it does. That'd be great. Be great for me since I have Grayson Sig. There's Brian Harmon, Matt Kuchar. If he stays at -3, I'm looking okay. Tom Hoge is looking iffy. Just got through birdieing 15 and he's wayward on 16. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Thomas. Fargo man. Alright, we can go ahead and grab some of these and we might update it. Might update it a little bit through the evening, but I can only wait so long. So let me grab all this for everybody. Alright, and then sort on the name. Player. And just to make sure we're completely lined up. Alright. We'll grab these 5. It'll be interesting to see right off the bat who has overperformed their putting and all that stuff. Oh, you dirty dog. This is I2. And This is I2. I'm just gonna delete these. But this will at least give us an idea. On who has overperformed their putting metrics. Actually, I think there were more than just those guys. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, so we're gonna try this one more time. Copy to here and to here. Is the spreadsheet big enough? You can see the detail. All right. Excel is okay. Yeah, I figured that Fantasy National might be a little hard to see, but it's the best I can do. Excel, it looks like. I mean, the Excel is probably the more important part, especially when we start building lineups. So I just want to make sure to focus on this. Okay, putting wise, let's see. Normally, Badley is 62nd. Or he is 62nd this week, and normally he's very good. So he's higher. I think I have that actually backwards from the way I think about it. So we got to remember negative means they've overperformed. Or, no. Aaron Baddeley has been 62nd this week. Yeah, I have that backwards. I need N2 minus I2. Yeah. Sorry. So Aaron Baddeley has been underperforming because he's normally, third and whatever, 31st or what in putting, and he is 62nd this week. So he has underperformed his metrics. Damn it. All right, now that that's fixed, now perhaps we can do some figuring out here. Let's sort on the. Are you gonna cooperate, mouse? Damn it. Let's sort on fast, I guess. No, average difference, largest to smallest. So these players have drastically underperformed. These players are 105 spots worse. Or 105 spots worse than Jordan Spieth. So he's been terrible putting, and I imagine a lot of that is today. Like Spieth. Where is Spieth? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No, he's overperformed. He's 16th. Normally, he has not been a very good putter on Bermuda. Okay, so he's overperformed. These guys need to go in red. I'll figure out my life here eventually, James, I promise. These guys are, if the greens are indeed average, which I don't think they are, but if they are indeed average, like anybody above 50 needs to be in a pretty heavy shade of orange. And then, you know, above 20 more, maybe the 10 here. And conversely, these players have been, you know, a little bit worse, but or worse in their putting. Here, what did I go to? 50? Yeah. Again, just keeping it consistent. So your worst or your biggest underperforming putter so far, like Austin Cook. I don't think he's going to make the cut, is he? See if there's anybody that's really high up here that is underperformed. Like look here, Grayson Sigg has drastically underperformed his putting. Corey Connors has drastically underperformed their putting. At least if the greens are average. But again, I think they're fast. Brian Harmon, if he makes the cut. Webb Simpson. These guys have drastically underperformed if the greens are indeed average. Now we'll sort on fast. And we'll do the same thing. Like JJ Spawn. He's been 8th this week. He is not a good, fast Bermuda green putter. There. And then, so one of the big keys will be, can we find a player who is, you know, green or heavy orange, green in both or heavy orange in both? Those are the players that we're going to want to focus on either ignoring or using. Damn it. So there. Down to 50. On there. Oh my gosh, look at all these guys down here that have just been bad compared to their career norms. I'll stop at Werenski. Like Sung Jae. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. To miss the cut. I mean, he was 69th. I mean, he wasn't great at putting coming in here, but he was one of the worst or he was one of the best, maybe the best coming into this. Close to it. Yeah. So he drastically was bad from there. Okay. Winslow, Webb, Simpson. Is Webb going to make the cut? Don't think so. Look at that. It's actually going up. Tied 56 is -2. By God, I think the -2s actually might make the cut. -2s might actually make the cut. That would be something. Okay, Grillo. He is going to miss the cut. So that explains a lot there. Mitchell, Harmon. I think Harmon's making the cut. Of course, we talked about Grayson Sigg. I mean, look, I mean, there you go. There's everything you need. Tom Kim was drastically terrible with the flat stick this week. Grayson Sigg, Cam Davis. Where's Cam Davis? Yeah, he's even today, and he's been really bad with the putter, and he's normally good. Okay. All right. Alex Smalley. I was a little worried about Smalley this week. Think he's going to miss? Yeah, he's at even. He's not going to make cut. Chesson Hadley, because he's been, you know, the worst off of his career form. Svensson. Ooh, he's right on the cut line. Okay. Brian Harman was like -3 or -4. Yeah, he's -4. Boy, if he's playing like this and not putting, this might be another Brian Harman weekend, James. Might be another Brian Harman weekend. Let's see if we can't find some guys that we know we're going to want to ignore. Zach Blair, completely overperforming. Where's Zach Blair? I imagine, yeah. T28, so we're going to ignore Zach Blair. Look at that, Hayden Buckley, drastically overperforming. That would explain his T4 right now. Well, I was really high on Buckley, but the metrics say that he is, I mean, he's been the 4th best putter, and he is nowhere near that kind of putter. Something to probably be cautious about. Ches Reavie. All right. There's somebody I'm definitely going to ignore. Look at Ches. He's been really, really high. Carl Yuan. Good shout out, because I was very high on Carl Yuan. And he played well today. Where is Yuan? You might. No, he's got stats. Now I'm just gonna have to sort again on name. Carl Yuan. Okay, so he's actually underperformed a little bit. He's been 6th in irons this week. That's pretty solid. All right, especially at 7,000. Like I said, I was pretty high on Carl Yuan coming in. I made sure I used him in a lineup. There he be. That lineup actually looks pretty good right now, except for the Sungjae. All right. The Connors, like I said, the Connors could be somebody to look at. If Webb makes the cut, he's going to be pretty dangerous based on what I'm seeing here in terms of his putting metrics. But I think, look at that. Look at Spieth. He's falling. He is falling from grace. My goodness. He had 4 bogeys in a row at one point in his round on the turn. Look at that. He bogeyed. How? Whoa. You went into the water on 9? I didn't think that was possible for a pro. I mean, I would do it, but I didn't think that was possible. So he goes in the water. He goes way left. He bogeys the easiest hole on the course. Then makes the turn. Bogeys the real short par 4. Oh my goodness. He just got through bogey in 15. Then sticks it to 14 feet on 16, you know, because golf. Webb Simpson, are you going to make the cut? You are not. Don't have to worry about you. Troy Merritt, you were hovering around the cut line. Ooh. Okay, if this cut stays at -2, look at Troy Merritt. He has been number 1 with his irons this week. And look how much he's drastically underperformed his putting. Troy Merritt, you are for sure getting the highlight, the bold, the italicized, and the increased font, especially tomorrow. So there's the first core player right now for a Saturday only showdown is Troy Merritt, especially because he traditionally, career-wise, he has been very, very good when it's calm. Oof. So there you go. There's the first core player that we are going to identify. Look at that. Taylor Montgomery's been the second best player, or second best putter, excuse me. But he doesn't have a lot of rounds, so, you know, And you know you're going to have some placement points with him. Sungjae's going to miss the cut. Scott Piercy. Probably not going to make the cut. Sam Ryder. There he is. Oh, no. +2. I need you to birdie coming in. Birdie in. Or birdie out, however you say it. He still has the 9th to play. That helps, but rough. Sam Ryder looking like he's going to cost me a lineup. I only have him in 1, but still. And that lineup was doing good, too. Poston, Buckley, Hardy. Damn it. Sam Ryder. Jerk off. Alright. See, what else we got working on here? Anybody else that has been drastic? Ryan Armour, he's going to miss the cut. Robert Streb. He was around in here. Did he fall off? Brian Harmon, still -4. Okay, so Davis just got through birdieing 17, so he's in. Did Streb fall off? Nah. He did, in fact, fall off, so he's going to miss the cut. Warinsky, Haley. Okay, Warinsky's done. Haley's done, essentially. Nick Taylor has been poor putting. Looking for Canadian flag. There's Vincent. Okay, Nick Taylor. Could be interesting, I suppose. His irons have been okay. He's generally pretty consistent. Nick Taylor might be somebody there that you might want to look at as we continue on. There's Kuchar. There's Hubbard. I know Kuchar is at -3, and he's got the par 5 to play. Yeah, he should be okay. Then again, Spieth bogeyed the easiest hole, so you never know, but he should be okay. Hubbard, he was around in here. Did he continue to fall? Did he rise? Okay, -1. So he'll miss the cut. Mac Hughes will miss the cut. Somebody to maybe perhaps take a look at. Look at KH Lee. 4th in irons. Now he has overperformed if these greens are indeed fast, but not by a ton. KH Lee could be interesting. Kitayama. He was right on the cut line too, I believe. Yeah. All right. Now, granted, he's not the greatest putter in general. You know, if it's average, it's -26, so he'd been 99th. When it's average and a little bit better, but still, you can't ignore the fact that he's good in the wind. His irons have been there this week. Like Kitayama, somebody you probably want to think about. Kevin Roy, Keith Mitchell, I think is going to miss the cut, which I was all over that. He just does not play easy courses well. Kevin Roy. Probably not. There's Nakajima, somebody I've been harping on. He's going to make the cut, and he's underperformed his putting. Winslow, I don't know anything about you. These need to be dashes. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about Winslow. Tom Kim was going to miss. Jerry Kelly? I mean, even so, ugh. Like I said, I mean, look at Hideki. Generally very, very good. And if these greens are indeed fast, which I'm pretty sure they are, I mean, he's been atrocious. Granted, this is more along the lines of his career norms for putting in general, but he's not too bad on fast Bermuda. Hideki's somebody I'm probably going to be keeping an eye on. Grayson Sig, I mean, my goodness. You're getting the bold, the italicized, the upper. You're getting all the things. I mean, you are not that bad of a putter. He's one of the worst this week so far. Oof. Okay. Eric Cole, Eric Barnes. And he's going to miss the cut. So, nothing to do there. Cole. There's Cole Hammer. Oh, look at that. Eric Cole right on the border. So he could be somebody in the 6Ks that you might. Have we used Eric Cole at the RSM, didn't we? I feel like we've used Eric Cole before. There's Grillo. He's going to miss the cut, but you can see why. He was drastically underperforming his putter. Dylan Wu. I feel like he was down here. Okay, I lied. He's not down there. Dylan Wu. Oh, okay. Me. Lipsky might be somebody to be wary of due to him overperforming his putter. Man, I love David Lipsky. He's not a good putter. So the fact that he's putting well, yeah. Like Doc Redman, I would want no part of. None. Just no part of Doc Redman at all. He's got to be really high up here, yeah. I don't want any part of Doc Redman for the weekend. Look at the irons. He's the #1 putter so far this week. And he's normally, 77th or so? No thanks. Danny Lee. Looks like he's going to make the cut. He is going to make the cut. Maybe tomorrow, but I don't want any part of him for the entirety of the weekend at all. Like Connors, absolutely. You're getting all the things. I mean, he's been really bad. Now, he's not a great fast green putter. I'll give him that, or I will say that. But, I mean, he's 7th in irons. Yeah. But Zadenhoot, are you going to miss the cut? I have a feeling you are. South Africa. There you are. Oh, yeah. Yep, you're going to miss the cut. Thanks for playing. Look, you can see how bad. And this is why I've been so down on Zadenhoot lately. He's just not playing well. His irons have been atrocious. He's normally a very good around the green player and putter. But if those aren't there, like he's just going to struggle. Because he does not have a lot of length. Chris Kirk, somebody that, I mean, objectively, it's saying that you should avoid him because he's putting so well. But, I mean, if the irons are on, and putting is, I mean, you can have a hot putter. That's certainly possible. Like, I don't want any part of Ches Reavie at all. Look at the irons for Reavie. Just bad. So, get me away from Ches. Give me a whole lot of Cam Davis. Especially since he goes low. He can go low. So you got 4 players already here that are pretty darn core in Troy Merritt, Grayson Sigg, Connors, and Cam Davis. So what are we looking at in terms of pricing here. Corey Connors, Cameron Davis, Grayson Sig, and Troy Merritt. Oh my gosh. You can buy a house. 8,000. Looks like 8,700 per. Let me finish my thought process on the putting so far. Like, Ben On is a terrible putter. He's actually been fairly high. Don't want any part of Ben On this weekend. Stewart. He's drastically overperformed his putting. Don't want any part of him. Ryan Harmon looks like he's getting all the things. That might be another player to throw in here. Will be expensive, but I mean, still at 7,700. Like, Brandon Todd is kind of interesting. I mean, he's never a good iron player, but he's actually underperformed his putting, and he's top 15 this week. I think Brandon Wu's going to miss the cut. Yes. Horschel's going to miss the cut. Ben Taylor. Interesting. Don't know how we feel about Ben Taylor because he's got so few rounds that are measured. But I will highlight him. I'm not going to bold him, italicize him, all that stuff, but could be interesting for sure. A little wary on Ben Griffin. He's been the number 3 putter. He's generally, somewhere in the 20s. But the irons have not been good, and he's supposed to be an iron player. So a little bit worried on Ben Griffin. Smotherman, is he going to make the cut? No, not as of right now. You're not. Ekro, Austin Cook, Nunez. Do I see an Argentinian flag? Oh my. Oh my. Look at that. Augusto Nunez has been the 10th best iron player. Now, he's generally not a fantastic iron player, I don't think. No, he's generally atrocious. But the irons are there this week, and he's underperformed his putting. If you're looking at stars and scrubs, Augusto Nunez might be a name, especially since he's in the top 20 right now. Interesting. Very interesting. Like, I'm just wary of Andrew Putnam. He's overperformed slightly. I mean, he's a good putter. He's overperformed slightly, but boy, he is not a ball striker. Ugh. Smalley, Svensson. If Svensson makes the cut, could be dangerous. If he makes the cut, could be dangerous. Scott has overperformed drastically. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lineup right there. Now, again, I've been more focused on weekend for this. But it goes Harmon, Connors, Davis. Svensson, Merritt. No. I lied. merits here. Who's at 74? Grayson C. So there's one lineup that I think for weekend golf, pretty darn solid. Pretty darn solid. Let's perhaps get a updated feel here for some of these statistics, shall we? In fact, let me refresh the page just to make sure it's up to the second. That's going to have to take its sweet little time. Oh, that hurt. Okay. All right. Bring these over again. Of course, I'm now going to have to redo all these. But again, just we're grabbing the most up-to-date stuff that I can. There. What we can also do, we can take a look at some eagles, see if some of these guys that I've highlighted have eagled par fours or hold out. That's what Ryan Armour and Aaron Baddeley, that's why they are highlighted. They have, like Ryan Armour aced the 17th yesterday. Aaron Baddeley hold out on, I think it was hole number 2. Like Nick Hardy, I think, hold out on hole number 2 today. So I need to highlight him, but I'm just kind of waiting. To get some more data. Okay, let's move to round of par stats. See if we have any Eagles up in here that we've highlighted. So Cameron Davis does have a few. Hardy's got quite a few. So we need to check them. This is Cameron Davis and Nick Hardy. Cameron Davis, -4. You eagled. Oh, your eagles. Oh, okay. So you have 2 eagles and they were yesterday, both in the par 5s. That's good. That's good. That's not out of the ordinary. Okay. Nick Hardy, I believe I will need to highlight Nick Hardy. I'm pretty sure he eagled par 4 today. So he eagled the 9th. Yeah. And so he holed out here on 12. So Nick Hardy is somebody that we might want to be a tad bit more cautious on, since his score is slightly superficial from the hole out. Kim, Worley, Simpson, Hadley, Ryan Brimbrand. I don't think he's making the cut. No. Anybody who's -2 or better. Steele, Svensson we need to take a look at because we've highlighted him. Kitayama we need to take a look at. Oh, shoot. Svensson and Kitayama. Okay, so Svensson is, as of right now, going to make the cut. Okay, look at that. He aced the 13th. Or, I said the 13th. 13th easiest hole. That's what I said. 13. He aced the 7th today. So you cannot depend on that. And here I have him starred and bolded and all that just because of the whatchamacallit. So I'm gonna compromise on it. I'm gonna put him here, but I am gonna have him still bolded and italicized and all that stuff because I mean he has underperformed his putting drastically and his approaches have been good, but he is a little bit lucky. Svensson, who was the other one? Brendan Steele was one of them, I know. His Eggle. Okay, hole 9 makes sense because that hole is essentially a par 4. I think Adam Long was somebody who had an eagle. Yep, hole 9. Okay. Oh, Kitayama. So Kitayama, Baddeley. We took a look at Nakajima already, but I'll do it again. Kitayama. Hole 9. Okay. Nakajima. Hole 9. Baddeley. Very boring round. One birdie. Ooh. Oh, I've got him highlighted already. God, I'm stupid. Harman been on. Harman been on. You on and Poston. Harman. Oh my gosh, he had a double bogey today and he's still up there. Okay, negated there. Harman been on. Okay, eagle the 9th. That's what happens. There's Joseph Winslow we were talking about earlier. JT Poston. Eagle the 9th. Okay. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Oh, you won. Okay, eagle the 9th. So we've highlighted the players that are, you know, superficially scoring well. Oh, something that we definitely need to do, James, especially for round 3 showdown. let's move on over to ESPN and we'll take a look at the live stuff. And again, it's going to continually be updated. But you need to look at these course stats. So, in fact, I'm going to split screen this with the usual performance of this course. So, hole 1 generally plays harder than what it has. Hole 2 is right at its norm. Hole 3, a little easier. 4, a little more, or a little easier. 5 has been a lot easier this year. 5 usually plays to 5 usually plays over par, and it's under par right now. Okay, something to perhaps take a note of. Now 6 is playing more difficult than it normally does. Seven's right at its career usual. 8 is a lot more difficult than what it normally is. So like hole 8 here. Hole 8 is playing 0.12 above par. Normally 0.02, so it's playing 1/10 of a shot more difficult. Nine's playing right at its career usual. 10's the same. Boy, 11 though. Oof. 11 is also basically a full 1/10 more difficult. So what I'm seeing here, the best stretch of birdie opportunity on this course is in 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1's fairly difficult, 2 is difficult, so you don't have a good wraparound here. Or turn. Let's see, 11, we just talked about. 12. 12's playing a little bit easier than its normal. This is right at its career usual. This is playing a whole lot easier. 0.1 versus 0.02. Now 15's playing more difficult. Yeah, okay. So 7, 8, 9, and 10 are where your birdie chances are on this course. Looking, I mean, just in general, but especially this year. Now, 8 is playing more difficult than it normally does. It does not have any eagles on it, which it shouldn't. I mean, hell, 7 has an ace. You can't really count that. But like, this has been a brutal hole. Almost more, I can't say almost triple, but more It's doubled the amount of bogeys than birdies, and then some. So I'm going to say like 7, 8, 9, and 10 for round 3 showdown. James, it's looking like you are going to want to target players that are teeing off on hole 1. They look like they have a bit of an advantage. Only because they can squeeze in this 10th if they happen to get a birdie on 8. And that's not, I mean, by no means is that a guarantee. But versus a player that's having to go on 16, 17, and 18 is a pretty easy stretch, but everybody gets to play that same stretch. And then once you go, like, say 16, 17, 18, 1, like 1, is playing a little bit over par, and then 2 has been pretty difficult, and it generally is. Like 1 is playing a whole lot easier than it normally does. 1's playing a full 10th of a shot easier than it normally does. So you would have to think that probably starts to even out. You would have to think. So in terms of round 3 showdown, target guys that are teeing off on the front 9 first, teeing off on hole 1. Definitely wanted to see that. And of course, we won't get tee times until tomorrow, but make sure you put a note down. I'm actually going to do the same. That you want to target the players that are teeing off on the front 9 for round 3 showdown. At least what the course has played at so far. Close those out. I think that'll be okay. Let's see. Let's take another look at the live leaderboard here. See where things sit. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I'm baffled, but this cut is going to stay at -2, it looks like. Okay. So especially for tomorrow, because the wind looks to be pretty darn calm, let's sort on these top calm players. Of course, Tom Kim is out. Poston, Horschel, Mitchell, they'll be out. Hideki could be a little bit interesting. I'll highlight him in the lowest shade of green. Could be fairly interesting, especially if these greens are fast, which I think they're going to be. Andrew Putnam. He was hovering around in here somewhere. Is he going to make the cut? Hey, look at that. Kuchar's going to make it. Good deal. Hoagie right on the cut line. Ugh. All right, let me highlight some of these guys. Kucha makes cut. Hey, look at that 5-6er. KH Lee, Denny McCarthy. So where's some of these players at? Oh, that's got SH Kim. He's T6 right now. Hardy made a big move. Kuchar made the cut. McCarthy. I thought he was up there earlier. Yeah, here he is. T9. KH Lee. T31. Okay. All right. There you go. There's a good 5-6er right there. Booyah. Here's the second Kuchar. If Sig makes the cut, man, that could be a Cam Davis is going to make the cut. Good deal. So that, again, look at this one. Like KH Lee, Cam Davis, McCarthy, Brendan Todd, and Ben Martin. Not Ben Taylor, unfortunately, but Ben Martin, who's up here somewhere. There's Brendan Todd, T9. Martin's up there. Release is going to make the cut. Alrighty. I haven't seen Russell Henley. What's he done today? Okay, he's making the cut. Russell Henley. Booyah. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about my teams here, James. Lots of very good 5 of 6s. Still have an outside chance at that 6 of 6. Hey, Curious. Thanks for jumping in chat. How was work? But thanks for jumping on. Know you're not much of a sports person, but always appreciate the support. Okay. Feeling pretty good. But yeah, James, if you, with all these guys up here, like Putnam's in, Spawn's in, Hoagie's in, Steele, I think he's in. Brendan Steele's in as of now. I would have to think that -2 stays. Henley we just saw is in. Montgomery's off. Like, I don't. Yeah. Like, what do you do with Taylor Montgomery? Like, he's the #1 putter this week. He's generally not all that good. He's down in, I don't know if he's that low. Taylor Montgomery. He's also not that high. All right, so, okay, he's 4th for 2022. Okay. Yeah, I just... Okay, maybe Montgomery is somebody here. How's the stats? Not too bad, typical Friday. Right now, it's a little bit difficult, only because the round is still going. They are playing out in Hawaii, 5-hour difference and stuff. So the stats are continually getting updated. And we can make some inferences and stuff. Like Andrew Putnam has been the second best putter this week. Even if that falls a little bit, it's not going to go from second to say 98th. So he's putt very, very well, and he's overperformed a little bit. So it'll get easier starting next week, especially because they won't be in Hawaii. It'll be in California, which is 3 hours, not 5 hours. But we do what we can. And we are attempting to make the optimal lineups for contests for the weekend, because each day you can have different lineups for each day of the contest, and then you can have a lineup for the entirety of the contest. So today is a big day because everybody's guaranteed 2 rounds, but then after 2 rounds there's a cut, and it generally cuts to half the field, give or take. There are certain criteria or whatever that sometimes there's quite a few ties, and therefore more than half the field will make it, but generally speaking it's about half the field. And then the half that played well the first 2 days then go on to play the next 2 days. So that's what we're going on, is seeing who is first off going to make the cut, and then of the players who have made the cut, who has underperformed their metrics. So like, for example here, Troy Merritt, I've got him highlighted in this green. I've bolded him. You see minus 92 and minus 100. He is 92 spots worse and 100 spots worse on this particular filter of putting. So he's been the 109th best putter this week, and he is underperformed by 92 and by 100 spots, whereas generally speaking he is the 17th and 9th best putter of the players that are playing this week. So you would think, everything regressing to the mean, that this performance is going to improve, which means he's going to play better, and that's why you want to target him. But that's only one aspect. Then you have a player's salary. You only have a certain amount of salary you can use, all that stuff. It's a fun little puzzle to try and fit all of these pieces together. But yeah, James, there's your top calm players. Tyler Duncan. I feel like, gosh dang it, I did not want to bookmark that. I feel like, yeah, so he's going to miss the cut. He's out. Matty Schmid, I believe, is out. He's going to miss the cut. Got 2 holes. I mean, it's fun, that's for sure, but you definitely have to have some reservations, because I mean, essentially it is gambling. Like, you have to know, you have to be able to say no, especially if you don't feel strong about a certain week or whatever. But when you're talking to somebody like me who's very confident in numbers and stuff, that's what gets me in trouble. McCarthy's in, SH is in, McNeely, Russell Knox. Ooh, he's right on the bubble. James, anybody else that in particular you want to look at? I know we talked about Harris English a little bit. We can revisit him if you would like, but he was, there he is. I was about to just search for him. Like, he's good when it's calm. I mean, he's overperformed a little bit, but the irons are there. Like, I kind of like. What do you think? When do you think tee times will be posted? Here's the thing, James. tee times, if they don't finish the round tonight, and there's a decent chance they won't because it's pushing 6 o'clock there, and I think darkness will hit 6 o'clock, maybe a little bit after. So you got guys on the 16th there. You've got 15th. You got 14th. I don't know if they're going to finish this round tonight. And the fact that you have, I mean, like guys like Paul Haley, I mean, sure, he could make 2 eagles and make the cut, but you've still got guys like Eric Cole and Harry Hall. They have the possibility to influence the cut line. If the round isn't finished, they're gonna have to come back and finish tomorrow. And so what's going to make very difficult is that if round 2 has to finish in the morning, they're just going to go straight from round 2 to round 3. That's what's going to make it very difficult. See, round 2, and they don't even pretend to round 3. So this is what happened earlier today. They did not finish round 1 yesterday. Or, excuse me, on Thursday. Yeah, yesterday. I don't even know what day it is anymore. They didn't finish yesterday. So they had to come back and finish this morning. And the first tee times were at 7:10. Whereas, well, okay, I guess 7:10. I really wish they had... Because, like, for example, S.H. Kim, I know for a fact... didn't finish his round yesterday because I have him on a few of my fantasy teams. So he was out on the course before anybody even started their second round because he was trying to finish his first round. So both days they have started at 7:10. Which would be 12:10 Eastern, I guess 11:10 your time, James. If that's the case, my guess is that they would have it posted, 10:30 your time, maybe? Like I said, it all depends on how much they get done tonight. And I don't see them getting this round done. I do not see them getting this round done. So, I wish I could give you a solid answer. I can't. So that's why we're going to have to do as much research as we can tonight. Try to figure out all these lineups. But there's Harris English. Fairly interesting, all things considered. He's been good with the irons. He's good when it's calm. He's putt very, very well. In fact, let's take a look at, and this will have changed a little bit. But let's take a look at strokes gained total. This is just kind of a look at the leaderboard at the moment, and let's see. I'm sorry. First off, let's recolor code the putting. Apologies. So these players have drastically overperformed their putting. There. And down to 20. Here. And down to 10. And then these guys have underperformed. 50. And normally I don't have to do this. Curious, but one of the things is for this week there was some debate as to what the green speeds were going to be. So every year this tournament has had average speed greens. Every year. Up until last year, when they had 3 rounds of fast and 1 round of average. So statistically or analytically, you can say, okay, that is just an outlier. Fine. You have outlier years. The issue with that is this year, or I shouldn't say the issue. The reason why I can't simply call it an outlier is that Hawaii has had a very dry year, at least by Hawaii standards. So when a course does not receive a lot of moisture, it hardens, it firms up, therefore the grass gets faster, and so the greens get faster. And some players perform better when a green is fast or slow or whatever. That's part of the analytics. And so that's why I'm having to do 2 columns. I normally only have to do 1. But what I'm doing is looking at who has over and underperformed their putting. Because to me, that is one of the biggest ways or biggest factors to seeing who's going to play well versus not. It can. It doesn't always have to. Or it won't always. But it absolutely can. So, like, for example here, like take JJ Spawn. JJ Spawn, over the last 2 years, I just grabbed the last 2 years of data. But over the last 2 years, on average speed greens, he's been the 7th best putter in this field. But when greens have been fast, he's the 121st best putter in the field. So some guys like it fast, some guys don't. And then, so that's also a part of the game, is trying to figure out how you think the course is going to play. And then make some evaluations based on that. Okay. So if we are looking and seeing the top strokes gained totals, so Spawn is clearly better at average. Montgomery, and he's had few rounds, but he's better at average speed. Buckley's better at average speed. Eckroat's better at average speed. Have these really been average? Could have. Better at average. Much better at average. Much better at average. Much better at average. I'm wondering, do I want to look at strokes gained total, or do I want to look at strokes gained putting? It might be better to look at, who's gotten the most strokes gained putting to see what they're better at. That probably is going to be the better metric instead of strokes gained total. Now that I think about it. So let's do that. Okay, top putters. Again, better at average. Pretty much even. Slightly fast. That's average. That's fast. Even, fast. Okay. To me, I don't know what you think, James. I'm curious, feel free to chime in, although I know you're not too privy to golf and all that. But to me, James, it looks like you have your outliers a little bit, but for the most part, like he's much better at fast. Like Zach Johnson's much better at fast greens. Better at fast greens. Better at fast greens. Like Spawn is good at average, but fast greens, fast greens, fast greens. I don't know. You got a little bit of everything here. I'm thinking fast. And that's the column we want to look at. Versus the average speeds. Yeah, I think I'm going fast. I think I'm going to go with fast. So let me hide these columns because they will absolutely confuse the living shit out of me. Something else we need to grab real quick. Let's take a look at scrambling. Because if guys are having to scramble, or if they've been scrambling well, that will also affect things. So, tee to green, scrambling gained. Yeah. Damn it, mouse. Son of a bitch. Fantasy National, having a tough time. Still thinking it's trying to load. Alright. Remove. And sort on player. Oh, great. Now I gotta sort these by player. Give it the old cursory look-see. Do we have Sames, Hubbard, Tremere? Yeah, very good. Okay, so let's grab some scrambling. And the players that have been scrambling well, we might want to be a little wary of as well. And my guess is if a guy's been scrambling well, the irons haven't been all that good. Although first example of that shoots that theory straight down to hell. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna now sort this on cost, and we'll start making some lineups here, James. I think you have this one that we made earlier. That's just annoying me. Is that cut line moving yet? Tied for 59. It might go to -3 still. Alright, I'm gonna expand this out for you all. Okay. Like Sungjae's out. I don't know about Spieth, but even if Spieth were here, just not seeing it. Montgomery, fairly interesting. Again, what do you believe in the do you believe in the putting, or like the irons haven't been good. Oof. Oh, but he's been playing so well. So well. I'm gonna hide this column, and we're just gonna look at fast. We're just gonna look at fast. Okay. That shouldn't be highlighted. He's right at his base. Okay, something got terribly messed up in here. Did I forget to sort on something? All right, we've got these. Okay. What's going on here? Deleted that. That looks fine. Right. Like, Cameron Davis was... What's going on here? I'm confused. In... That's O minus I. What is going on here? Why are those two different? Whatever. Sungjae's out. Like I said, Montgomery has drastically overperformed his putting. KH Lee, maybe not as strong now that he's overperformed on the fast. Like Spawn, I don't want any part of. Like, he's not that good of a putter, although he's been ball striking it well, but he's also been scrambling very, very well. How many times has he scrambled? Because that could be an issue as well. Oh shit. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Scrambling. JJ Spawn. 5 of 6. I mean, he hasn't scrambled all that often. I'm just a little wary on Spawn. Is Spieth gonna make the cut? If Spieth doesn't make the cut, then oh my gosh, he completely fell apart. Look at that, Spieth's out. So you don't have anybody in weekend golf that is 10K. So with that being the case, I would be hard pressed. It would be hard pressed for me to try and suggest or recommend that you go into that you go into the 6Ks. I don't think there's a reason to. If there's no 10K play, just period, no 10K play period that's making the cut, then don't go into the 6Ks. You can build a balanced lineup. And I know I'm doing this again, I'm sorry, but it just helps to see color coding. Something got messed up there in the sorting. So, all right. So let's figure out what's our absolute minimum that will go? And that'll kind of dictate what, like how many of those top guys we can fit in and all that stuff. Why has he got, this needs to be, you don't have any data. 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 Nor do you. Now we'll sort on the price. Stupid. Salary. Okay. Like Brian Harmon, like, to me, Brian Harmon and Corey Connors are pretty much core, I would think. But if you, because remember, Hideki struggled last year up until round 4 where he just went bananas. Shot, I don't know, like a 61 or something on Sunday to force the playoff and then win. So like if you want to go Hideki and Connors here, yeah, you can still average 7,000. That's pushing it. That's pushing it, but you can do it. I think there's enough down here in the 7Ks, like Carl Yuan. We've talked about him a little bit. He's underperformed his putting. His irons are right there. That makes a whole lot of sense to me to bottom out at Carl Yuan. 7,100 per player. You have Ben Taylor, who again doesn't have a lot of rounds, but he's underperformed his putting. Now, the issue is he has scrambled a lot, or he has scrambled well, not necessarily a lot. But the irons, I mean, look there, he's third in irons. Yeah, not an issue. Curious, thanks again for jumping in to chat and watching the stream. It's much appreciated. Support's always appreciated. Like, I think Ben Taylor is interesting at 71. Then you would have another 71, if you will. Or you can go 2 7,000s. Nakajima. Like, Nakajima might be the lowest I'd be willing to go. Let's start knocking off some of these players here that we know are going to miss the cut. Why don't we do that? That might make it a bit easier. So Ryan Armour, we know, is going to miss the cut. Where'd he go? Oh. Looks like that eagle's not going to matter. There. Rory Sabatini. You gotta be kidding me with this. Sabatini's gonna miss. KJ, Mark Hubbard. Jim Herman, Jordan Spieth. Like I said, apologies, James, and anyone else watching via YouTube and Twitch. Like, with the round not completely finished, it's a little difficult. Scott Piercy, Brandon Wu, Matty Schmid, Trevor Cone. I think I did Matty Schmid. Yep. Trevor Cone. Malnati. Mitchell. And of course, James, or anybody for that matter, throw in chat if you want to look at a specific player, and we'll just focus on that player for a second. I plan on being online for quite a while to narrow down these players that I think we should focus on for this weekend. Justin Hadley, Smalley, Sam Ryder, Kevin Roy. Oh, Sam Ryder was cut. Damn it. You jack off. Dylan Wu, Jimmy Walker. Gary Woodland. We've already done Tom Kim, Mueller, and Grillo. McLaughlin, Lucas Glover. Good thing I avoided him. I thought about putting him on a lineup or two for the full week. Glad I didn't do that. Webb Simpson, Ryan Moore. Max McGreevy, Eric Barnes. Fortunately, James and everyone else won't have to worry about this starting next week, since they will be back stateside. And rounds will be over by the time we're online. Sam Stevens, Tana Goya. Streb. Onishi. Sanjay. Marty Doe and George Markham. Norman. Guys. Langworth and Duncan. Oh, I already did Duncan. Keegan, Scott Harrington. I'm going to San Diego next week to golf. Oh my. Vacation? I am quite jealous. What courses are you playing? If you say Torrey Pines, I am going to be meeting a buddy from back home out there. Nice. Nice. That sounds like a great time. You don't know yet? Don't know which course? Well, I'll tell you what, if you're able to play Torrey Pines, although they might, I mean, you would know better since you're originally from out there, but, you know, I would think they close that course this close to the Farmers. Could be wrong, but I would think they would have that closed. But I mean, it's San Diego. I mean, you got to have a bunch of great golf courses out there. But obviously you want to play the night par 3, but it's flooded. Ooh, a night par 3 does sound fun. Sounds real fun. I'm actually going to be going to the indoor simulators this week, so looking forward to that. Especially since we'll have the monitors and swing speeds and stuff. I've already joked with the friends that I am ready to swing as hard as I can, try to get to 115 or something, and throw out my back. That sounds like a great time. I know that's not what you're supposed to do, but let's be honest. Once you see the numbers up there, and you see your buddy get 2 mile an hour more than you, well, a little bit of pride starts creeping in there, or stupidity, either one. You going to the sim tomorrow? Nice. I've never generally golfed very well on simulators. I have such a high ball flight that it just picks up my shots as pop-ups. But it is golf in January, so I shouldn't complain. Okay, now that I've gotten all of that, we can take a look at the low sevens. Let's see here. Anybody else look anywhere interesting? No thank you on Russell Knox. Yeah. Again, it's like Ben Taylor at 7,100. That leaves you with a 7,100 again. Elsewhere, Justin Suh, maybe? Justin Suh could be interesting, I suppose. I guess I wouldn't mind coming into the 6Ks for him. Like Smotherman's drastically overperformed. Lashley has been pretty bad with the irons, and he's not great in calm winds. Is there anybody that's just been decent at both? Not really down here, which you should expect. Like, we highlighted Augusto Nunez earlier. Like, if we went all the way down to Augusto Nunez, can we fit? What all can we do with all this? Harmon, Matsuyama, Connors. Anybody else that strikes a big Cam Davis? What does that leave us with? Another 6? Yeah, see, I don't know. See, like, Poston's played pretty darn well. Maybe JT Poston? What's that leave us? 7,100. So there's a Ben Taylor that I like for weekend. So if you're, I think this is the stars and scrubs look. If you're going to go that route, I don't really like that look. But if you're gonna go there, like, I don't hate the idea of Augusto Nunez if you're going down, if you're trying to squeeze in all of those upper tier guys. But I don't think there's any reason that you have to. I just don't think there's any reason you have to. Now, Nunez has been very good ball striking this week, and he's generally a very, I can't say very good, he's generally an average putter, and he's underperformed that quite a bit. So take that what you will, but I don't hate this play. I just don't think it's necessary. But really, no one else excites me in the 6Ks until you come to maybe Nakajima at 68. Like, I just, nothing that you need to do here. So I think we're looking at another balanced week. Buckley is severely overperformed. Kitayama could be somebody interesting as well. He's not been good off the tee, but the irons are always there. Now he's not a good putter in general. I understand that, but could be interesting, I suppose. I don't think I want much of Andrew Putnam, especially since he has overperformed his putting metrics, and he's been shit ball striking. I mean, absolute shit ball striking so far. I really like Hayden Buckley, but seeing him fourth in putting is just, I mean, he has to regress. I would think he has to regress. Same kind of with David Lipsky. As much as I like David Lipsky, I think he regresses. Patton Kizzire has not been all that fantastic, but he is generally a good putter on Bermuda. 46 does have room for improvement. Kizzire could be somebody as well, James. Why are you... What? Merritt's got stuff. Who's this? Where's he? Merritt has been drastically under his putting. What went on here? What's going on here? Drastically under his putting. S.H. Kim has been scrambling quite a bit. Yeah, I don't like that too much. But, I mean, the approach is there. Daffy, no. Shank, no. No on Garnett. No on Thompson. I guess it would help if I... Well, maybe for you all, you appreciate me being off camera. But I guess I should probably recenter. Yeah. With this being the core of our team, of our guys here, like I'm gonna throw in Taylor Montgomery because I don't know what to do with him. I mean, he's so overperforming his putting that it's not funny. His irons haven't been great, but I mean, the guy just, he's so good. So do what you want with Taylor Montgomery. I don't know what to do with him, James. But Taylor Montgomery, let's see, where else can we go here? Like, Hoagie's just not a good putter in general. Like, McNeely could be interesting, maybe. The irons have been better than they normally are. I don't hate that. Let me remove. I'm actually going to just remove around the green and off. No, I probably shouldn't. Let's just delete that column. And there we go. Siwoo. I don't know what's going on here. He's been way over his putting. So the irons have been good for Siwoo, but eh. Okay, Denny McCarthy could be so. Okay, look at Denny McCarthy. McCarthy's had a pretty good iron week, and you always know that his putter is live. So I actually don't hate Denny McCarthy. So if you do something to the effect of, like, say, Taylor Montgomery, I'm just going to use Cam Davis because I just think he's core to your weekend lineups. Denny McCarthy. I don't want to throw in too many newer guys into this thing here, but you're still at 7,900 per, like, jeez. You see, that's why I don't think you have to go into the 6Ks. Like, you just have a whole lot in the 7s and upper 7s and 8s. Like, Poston should be fine. Poston actually looks pretty damn solid. Underperforming his putt. Like, goodness God. He might be core. So if you go Davis, McCarthy, JT, Poston, still at 7,800. Like, you would round this team out probably with a Grayson Sig. Oh shoot, Harris English. I haven't used English, and I don't hate that idea. I don't think I would bold him, but I certainly don't hate the idea of Harris English. And then, you know, round it out however you want. Grayson Sig, Troy Merritt. I think I'm probably higher on Troy Merritt just because of the putting, because he's generally a very good putter. But that's another team where, like, Taylor Montgomery. Yeah, okay, so here we go. We're done. So there are still players out on the course, James. You've got Harry Hall on the 18th. Thompson's on the 18th. Haley's on the 18th. Okay, it looks like almost everybody got done. So the tee times, they won't be posted until tomorrow, but it'll be fairly quick once those guys finish the round. All right, so we have, he doesn't affect the cut at all. He doesn't affect anybody here affect the cut. All right, Davis Thompson is the only one that is possibly going to make or miss the cut, but the cut is at -2. I can't believe it, but the cut is at -2. I would have sworn up and down that it would have went to 3. But Davis Thompson, would there be any reason to use Davis Thompson? If not, then we are basically set and we can adjust. The irons have been He's underperformed his putting a little bit, but again, I just I don't know. No, I don't. Okay, so with that the case, now that they're done, I'm going to do this one more time, And I'm just going to get the most up-to-date info that I can. And I know I've done it a few times. I'm sorry, but I just want to give you all the best information I can with it. I'm going to remove this average. We're just going to be looking at fast. All right. You like that last one? Yeah. That one felt fairly solid when I was going through it. When I kept trying to force myself to save money and still had 8K or whatever it was, that one felt pretty good. I did like that one. All right. Sort on player, and we'll grab all of this. We will grab off the tee, although I don't think it's going to matter too much. But you see that the numbers have changed a little bit, even from the time that we did this a little bit earlier. And then finally, they're putting. Scrambling is okay. I just want to kind of get an idea of who has scrambled. So M2 minus H2. Copy it all the way down. We'll sort on said putting. Some of these guys I know I had hyphened out or whatever. I'm kind of over it, so we're gonna go like this. Lots of guys right at their career norms. Those are probably people that are, oh wow, Nick Taylor. So that was a bet I'd have lost. Did I include 20 on that one? Yeah. So I would have to include 10 on this one. 20. 50. And God dang it. All right. And yeah, look at that. I mean, that makes sense. Look at all these people that missed the cut and drastically underperformed their putting. That makes a whole lot of sense. All right. Sort on salary. Hide these columns. All right. So again, especially for just round 3, you're going to want to focus on the guys that play very well in calm weather. And I'll reload this, but I mean the forecast is what it is. It's just calm tomorrow. So your big thing for round 3 tomorrow, round 3 showdown, you want guys that are very good in calm weather, who are teeing off on the front 9, teeing off on hole number 1. Give those players a boost. But I focus on weekend showdown or weekend golf. So And Sunday is supposed to be pretty darn breezy. Let's see. Who else haven't we used too much of? We've got Harmon twice. We've gotten Connors twice. Hideki once. Like Russell Henley, how do we feel with Henley? Kind of mediocre. I mean, yeah, he's underperformed his putting, but he's just generally not been a good putter. Irons have been very unlike Russell Henley. Okay. Like KH Lee has been very good with the irons, but has overperformed his putting, and he's been 95th, and he's overperformed. That tells you he's just not a good putter. But he's good in calm weather, so he might be worth a shot tomorrow, but I don't know about full weekend. I just don't want any part of JJ Spawn. I just don't. He's overperformed his putting by 110 spots. Like, I'll just choose to lose to JJ Spawn. If he continues to play like this, I'll lose to JJ Spawn. I'll just accept it. I can't see it continuing. Like, McNeely is not this good of an iron player, so he could be having a good iron week. And the fact that he's not so drastically overperforming his putting, McNeely could be okay, I suppose. I'm going to maximize all this so we can see everything. So if we want to try to maybe do a Maverick McNeely, make him the second player or second most expensive. I mean, shoot, like I said, just take your pick. I think Brian Harmon, Corey Connors are pretty core for the weekend. I'll use Connors and try to make like a pretty ultra balanced team. Connors, McNeely, drop down to, if you want to believe in Siwoo, like, okay, but he's drastically overperformed his putting too. That would scare me quite a bit. I won't red him out, but that would scare me quite a bit. The fact that he has drastically overperformed his putting. Because these are supposed to be fast greens. Or at least I would think they're going to continue to be fast. Like Svensson, because he made the cut, I know he's got that shading because he has he aced a hole. Like, I still think Svensson is, I mean, he's generally a pretty good putter. His irons have been very good. He has not scrambled well, which you shouldn't need to scramble. Kind of like Svensson. Like, if we bottom this team out at Svensson, you can go Svensson, again, like with Hayden Buckley. Like, I like the player, but he is not that good of a putter, and his irons they're not top 10. They just aren't. So, I mean, you might go Svensson, Kitayama, who I guess I don't hate. And then 8250, that would be Denny McCarthy, JT Poston, Harris English. 86, you could throw in Cam Davis. I know we're using a lot of the same names again, but I think this is where a lot of your core weekend golf needs to lie. Is in if you're coming up into the nines heavily, Brian Harmon, Corey Connors. I don't hate Hideki. Do what you want with Taylor Montgomery. Like, he is the number one putter this week. He's, in his short time on the PGA Tour, he's not been a great putter. The irons haven't been there, but I mean, the dude he's always the top of the leaderboard. if I had to guess, he will fall off. But I don't feel confident in saying that. Somebody else that I just kind of noticed down here, Stefan Jaeger. He hasn't drastically overperformed his putting. The irons have been good. The off the tee's been good. Like, Jaeger seems pretty solid. I just happened to see that out of the corner of my eye. Anybody else down here? Not really. I'm going to throw maybe one more team together, and I'll use Jaeger in it. Maybe a Stefan Jaeger and Troy Merritt, maybe, or no, I'll throw in Suh or Nakajima or something. Yeah, let's do Kaita Nakajima, because I've talked about him in full week. So, I mean, you look there, you've got a 74, a 68. I mean, you can go ham. I mean, absolutely ham on these four. Obviously, I'm going to start with Brian Harman. We'll go probably Corey Connors. You don't have to. Like, if you want to believe in KH Lee, okay. McNeely, fine. But, you know, Harman, somebody, Cameron Davis. My gosh, you still have 8,700. Ugh. What's it going to be if it's Connors? 82? Denny McCarthy? Okay. There's another pretty solid looking team, I would think. A little bit more balanced than the Augusto Nunez when you were dropping down all the way into 61. But yeah, I think this is roughly where you need to be for weekend golf. Harman and Connors, I really, really like. I was off of Cam Davis for a week long, but it looks like I was incorrect on it. I mean, the guy's a pretty good putter on Bermuda. You see that there. He's just underperformed, and he's still playing well. Number 7 this week in iron play. He's very good when it's calm. He's okay in the wind. So Sunday shouldn't affect him too much. JT Poston has underperformed his play. He's just been solid all the way around. He generally likes easy courses as well. We are in 2022. Do I have any metrics? So if we look at easy, just to give you an idea, this is from 2022. JT Poston was 16th in this field total in easy. Like, that's like, and if you start taking away the people that missed the cut, like Tom Kim missed the cut, he might be the only one. Hubbard missed the cut. So, I mean, Poston's now inside the top 15 in terms of easy. Okay. Like that. Svensson's kind of interesting. I'm always a little bit wary, but he plays easy courses well. Jaeger's somebody to look at. But honestly, I really don't think you need to come down into the 6s. I really don't think you need to. If you do, like Justin Suh has been, that doesn't look great. But again, his irons have been good this week. He's been good off the tee. He's underperformed his putting. Like, everything lines up here. Nakajima has been very poor when it's calm, good when it's windy, but like the irons, fine. Now he hasn't been as good of a putter, but he still underperformed it. I think I like Suh a little bit more than Nakajima. I know I put Nakajima in that lineup, just throwing names together. Carl Yuan, I don't even have him highlighted. I like Carl Yuan. Underperformed his putting, 8th in approach. Now, that worries you, sure, but I don't think you have to come down into the 6s. I really don't. And then I don't hate the idea of an Augusto Nunez because he's been drastically bad with the putter. He's generally not this good of an iron player. His irons have been good this week, so ride the hot irons. If you're trying to fit in a huge, lineup like Harman, Matsuyama, Connors, or Harman, Connors, McNeely, whatever, I don't hate the idea of an Augusto Nunez, but you don't need to. Like, you can bottom out easily at Troy Merritt, and you still have Taylor Montgomery, Cam Davis, Denny McCarthy. You can bottom out at Adams Vincent at 7,500 and still fit a Connors, a McNeely, a Cam Davis, a Harris English. You don't need to go into the 6Ks. So there's 5 lineups. I'll bring these up over here. James, you got any other player that you want to see or throw together real quick? Twitch chat, throw out names. But as of right now, with I think 4 groups, 2 groups on each hole, 9 and 18 that are still on the course, my guess is that lineups are going to have to be submitted by about noon Eastern. That's a complete guess. Make sure you wake up early tomorrow morning. Check and see when the contests are going live. If you're playing round 3 showdown, again, focus on players that are good in calm weather, who are preferably teeing off on the front 9. I would not make a full lineup focusing just on the front 9, but I would give it a little bit of an advantage. But other than that, good luck with all your contests this weekend. James, Curious, in Twitch chat, thanks for watching. Always appreciate the support. Good luck. And let me know in the comments of the show tonight, how do your lineups do? I would love to shout out winners, at the start of next week on Sunday evening when we go to the Amex for big wins this week. So I'll leave you off showing you where my lineups are. It looks like all of these players have made the cut. So all of these are now green. All right. I got a 6 of 6 through. Harman and Sig are through. So mixed bag for me. Lots of good 5 of 6s. Some not so good 5. Ew. Didn't mean to highlight that one. Some not so good 5 of 6s, but overall, I am pretty pleased with how these lineups came together and their performance. So, good luck with all your contests this weekend. Thanks as always for tuning in, and I will see you Sunday evening at 9 p.m. for the American Express initial research. So for all the contests you enter for weekend golf for the Sony Open, may all your bets be profitable.